Oh, that's a bit. I think I got lucky there because everybody behind got quite a poor start. Hello and welcome to another iRacing video, or welcome to Spa for the TCRs. We've managed to qualify on pole for this one. I think I got lucky because Mike Hart is in this race and he's a 5k driver and I know he's extremely fast in the TCRs. It's a real shame. I was really looking forward to a battle with Mike, but unfortunately he had a connection issue. Which has unfortunately left him, I think, some way down the grid, unfortunately. So it was tight for myself. I did actually mess up my first qualifying lap. I had 5 seconds to spare when I crossed the line at the end of my second, which just about got me the pole position. So we are driving the Audi. So we've taken a step away from our Hyundai and we've gone to the Audi, the original TCR, of course. This one has no clutch. So we've got to hold it on the brakes, try and get the revs about right, and then hopefully get some sort of launch off the line. So I still think this could be an issue.
Temp is 27. The air temp is 26.
Let's see how this goes. This is going on a red gym.
Green, green, green.
Oh, that's a bit. I think I got lucky there because everybody behind got quite a poor start. I cannot tell you how different Spa is in a TCR versus the Kia. You can almost, well, I'm not going to try it now, but you can almost take a Rouge flat if you are really up for it, but the chance of an off track is a little bit risky, so I'm taking it steady, certainly on this first lap with the cold tyres. It's just so different, despite both being front wheel drive cars, the tyres on this TCR just stick. So I've had a little bit of a rejig, well, only a small rejig, in that I've moved my seating position slightly back. I brought my pedals slightly forward. I always felt I didn't have quite enough manoeuvring on my arms, if I'm brutally honest, so...
I see everyone's being an idiot again then.
It's taken a long time to, unfortunately, make the change, because it was one of those where you've got to try and get round the back of the rig to get to the pedals, and all of that, so I was just held off. Getting it done, but I've done it, and actually, yeah, it feels good so far. But this is my first in-anger race, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes. At the moment, we've got lucky, we've got quite a good start here. We've built up a 2.1 second lead already. Now, some of that's going to be because I think the Audi gets its tyres up to temperature that much quicker than the others. Alright, we're continuing to pull away. Mike is already up to 6th. I'm not ruling Mike out because I know he is incredibly fast, but obviously he's had a couple of potential incidences. I've heard some chatter. Cautious on the first lap. Again, you can take that probably nearly flat. Certainly won't be doing that in a Kia. And the other thing is, it's given my arms a little bit more manoeuvrability, and because the pedals are now that little bit closer, I feel as though I've got a little bit more control over the brakes. Especially the throttle, I'm sort of slightly less concerned about. But in terms of the brakes and just doing that, obviously tailing the brakes off when you're going into the corner, just feels like I've just got that little bit more control. Although, if anybody was to see my F4 practice, they'd be thinking otherwise. I'm still undecided yet as to whether I will race the F4, because I just can't seem to get a lap done without actually spinning it. As much as I enjoy the Hungaroring, It's up to 4th. As I say, I think I got lucky here. Bike also happens to feature in probably what I still regard as my best ever iRacing race, which is actually was in the Kia at the Red Bull Ring. Definitely worth checking out that video. That was just an amazing battle. I'm lifting off because I really don't want any off tracks.
That's 10 minutes left.
Okay, Jim. Okay, Jim. 10 minutes. Still can't crack those 234s. We've got Mike still 4th. Probably getting held up a little bit. Tiny confidence lift there.
Easy.
Oh, Mike's up to 3rd.
What the hell, man? What was that about?
So Mike is having some fun.
The gap to Gandolfini behind is increasing. It's now 4.7 seconds.
Was that some kind of wheel connection or something?
Oh.
Rob, like,
Okay, so this probably not the most exciting race, so you might
like
want to talk
felt
amongst
like you,
yourselves.
your car just like drove into the side of me at 90 degrees, but
Maybe it's because I'm in the Audi. I mean, my sort of natural home, I guess, because as I say, the Audi was the original TCR. For many seasons, this was the only TCR. Gaining a bit of time here.
Okay, yeah, that's half distance. Fuel levels are fine.
Small lift there, just to be sure.
You've just done a 235.50.
So apparently, my optimal lap is 2:35.0. I would love a lap like that. Ooh, right. Got to concentrate, of course, because we know this has happened before. I've had what appears to have been a fairly easy race, and then I've gone and blown it. does seem to handle the curbing that much better, this Audi. Gets so destabilised.
You're in the lead.
Cheers, Jim.
Bruv, what are you doing, mate? Why are you doing that for?
Dear.
Thanks, Michelle. Thank you so much for that.
Come on, Ian. Just 5 minutes left. Hold your nerve. We can win this. The gap to Gandolfini behind is now 6.2.
Come on! Oh, still dropping away. No, getting off track, just trying to get a faster lap, whatever you do. Oh, look at Mike's lap time, definitely close. Oh, it's such a shame. I really do think we could have ended up having a good race. Eight tenths faster than the guy in front of him though, so what have we got? A couple of laps, he might. It's going to be tight. Podium was actually too good that time.
You've got half your fuel left.
Oh no, get off track. No. Whew. So one of the things I did have to do was reduce the force feedback. Because the steering wheel's that much further away. It was pretty tough. The setting I had, so I had to reduce that a little bit. Mike's close right in. I want to take it flat, but I don't want to get an X. Oh, it's so nice to keep this as a 0X race, especially as I did get an X in qualifying.
That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
I have to say, right, at the moment, I'm very pleased with my
One more
consistency.
lap. Keep it together. We'll win this. New fastest lap for Hart. 2:35.13.
Mike,
Willis has been disqualified.
Tony's been disqualified. Oh, that felt good. Just that was the tiniest. Look at that tiny lift. Just disappeared off the telemetry. Just tiniest a lift, but look at the time I'm gaining. Just up. Oh no! I missed the gear just slightly. Look at it pummeling away. Oh, that could have been. You never know. That could have been the lap I was looking for. Oh, a bit wide there though. Oh, I'm lucky that wasn't off track actually. Ah, oh, darn it. The time's there, the time's there. Oh, can't wait to see what Mike's last lap is though, where he's got nobody in front of him. Hang on, Mike's just dropped the third. Oh, you know why? It's because we're finishing. Yes,
Well
Jim?
done, Ian. Great win. You deserve that today.
Got lucky.
Well done, Ian.
Got
Sorry,
lucky.
couldn't have a good race there. My connection died in qualifying, so
Yeah,
didn't get to do a lap.
Okay, so our first incident involves cars 12 and 13. So as we go through the top of the hill, 12 gets very close to second place. 13 goes for a gap that frankly isn't there. And unfortunately, they collide at that. There was a few other minor incidents behind us, but that was definitely the bigger incident of lap 1 so far. Right, let's see if we can find some more. Okay, so our next incident involves car 15 and car 1. I remember some chatter during the race about this. So from the initial external TV cameras, you can see there's definitely a little bit of netcode there, but it's like, well, then what happens? So what we have to do is we're just going to go and take a look at the chase cam, and you'll see quite a different view of this incident. Okay, so here we go from the chase cam view. So you're going to get quite a different view now. So car 15, the car on the right, it's going to rather unexpectedly hit their brakes in a moment and then turn left. I can only assume there was some kind of retaliation there. And then, of course, the cars behind all get a little bit balked, which causes a little bit of mayhem. Car 10's got to slow down. They've had to pull over to one side. Yeah, so just one incident from car 15 caused quite a bit of trouble there, and it's really disappointing. It's always disappointing to see retaliation in that way for what was, to be frankly, a nothing incident prior. So let's move on and see if we can find something else in this race. Okay, so we found another incident. Unfortunately, it involves car 15 again. This time, gets a little bit deep on the entry, runs out wide, which then gives another 10 a very, very good run on the outside. And it's one of those classics. Again, netcode, and that's it. Oh, that was a proper hit for Cough. And we got carnage. Well, that didn't take long. Right, small little bit of rewind here, and we should find some more incidents in front of us. Let's just get this rewound. Right, let's just go back a few cars. That looks like a good option. Oh yes. 2 cars involved there. Wow. 2 for the price of 1 in the incidents there. Okay, let's see if we can find any more. And our final incident involves a major blinker. The Audi disappears. Poor Honda, I'm assuming it's the invisible car. Oh gosh, I mean, when your luck's down there, isn't it? Oh, that was really unfortunate. Right, let's see what this has done for our iRating and safety rating. Okay, so the results for the TCR Fixed at Spa, we had 2 splits. The strength of field for our split was 2.1k. Nice double green. So we've got 0.09 on our safety rating, taking us to 3.57, and a plus 43 on the iRating, taking us to 4218. So I didn't take the win. Mike was second and Andrea third. We don't need to travel too far because Andrea also got the biggest iRating gain at plus 90. And our biggest iRating loss was Salvatore with a minus 95. So there we go. I mean, I've got to apologise a little bit. Wasn't the most exciting race, but from a personal point of view, very pleased. Most of my laps were within a few tenths of each other. That was quite nice to see. So I was actually being fairly consistent there, despite being out of my own. And sometimes, you know, it's happened in the past. I'm out there on my own. I get distracted by absolutely nothing and end up making a mistake. So to actually drive at home without making a mistake was actually quite pleasing, and a 0x, of course. So that was nice too. Just unfortunate we didn't get a race, which is what I thought I was going to get when I saw that Mike was in the lobby. But there we go. Anyway, just while I'm just talking about Mike, I will point to a video from some months ago, but it's still, for me, sits as my best ever iRacing race, and it was in the Kia at Red Bull Ring. I'll make sure that there's a link to it at the end of this video, so you can go off there and take a look. As I say, it is an old one, and it potentially appears a bit of a slow burner at the start of the race, but believe me, the last 5 or more laps were just phenomenal. Absolutely brilliant race with Mike. Right, if you're racing this week, good luck, and I will hopefully see you in another video very soon. Bye.